ain't picked a song yet. Well, you'd be listening to the show normally. We were busy bullshitting, and I hadn't picked a song yet, so I'm just scrolling through my music here, trying to find a good wake-up song. So be patient with me. Let's do a little. Well, go ahead.
I have a suggestion.
I'm listening.
Swarp. I want to hear "Swarpin" by Sunday Best.
Is that a wake-up song?
Just try it.
I've heard it before. Here we go. I just don't remember it.
Hey, it's Bart. I listened to that boy, Sunday Best. Boy, he's good. And
that boy's good.
Maybe he might hit on the CMT and he might get played on radio. I hope they can come to Ziggy's sometime this summer. He's good. I'll see.
Well, my mind's going about 30 miles a minute, searching for things that I can't find. So I'm filling up my cup, and I hope that that's enough to get all this worry off my mind. With the swarping and fighting and the whiskey drinking and the up all night with the back porch picking, and I'll find me a girl to show what she's been missing. This is all that gets me through. I was baptized in Evan Williams, fell in love on a muddy bank. Now I'm wilder than them all, got your blessed alcohol, and I'm acting like I can't get enough to drink. With the swarping and fighting and the whiskey drinking and the up all night with the back porch picking, and I'll find me a girl to show what she's been missing. This is all that gets me through. When my younger days are over, well, I guess I'll change my ways. When I can't wear a shirt that I had got at Billy Days, now I like on liquor and the songs that Petty wrote. No, my good old days ain't leaving, son. Let's take another toll. With the swarping and fighting and the whiskey drinking and the up all night with the backyard picking, and I'll find me a girl to show what she's been missing. This is all that gets me.
Hey, that was the end of the song. That was one of those.
I can't hear the end of the song, so
That was one of those ones that ends really abruptly.
it does. It does end very, very
All
abruptly,
that
but
fucking infighting. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's what they actually said, but I don't know if those are the actual
Happy
words.
Monday.
Happy Monday, Jen_X. How are you?
Actually, that name was taken. I'm __.
Oh, really? Yeah. I guess that I can see that. I can see that. It's not.
I was kind of
since there is a Generation X, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And there was some other woman your age too. Maybe
age?
slightly older. Yeah, you're in Generation X, right?
Yes, I am.
Well, so I mean, your age.
I am. I love our generation. Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah, and welcome to Morning Bull, folks.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
They know where they are. Even if
Maybe
we
not.
don't.
They might not know.
Good morning, WBAM. Welcome to Morning Bull with Bonley Johnson and
Jen __.
double. She's a double underscore. It's like double D's, only better. See how that works.
Well, that's a good thing.
How's everybody out in Chatland today? I saw Paige was in there. I saw Nips, Stetson.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Stevie's out there today. Rumper Bumper,
Yeah.
Stomper Boo. Pam was in there earlier. It may have been last night, actually. It was last night. Pam and Tracy were bullshitting about Smule. Smule, how do you say it? We
I
had a
say
whole discussion on
Smule.
or KFAG about that.
I say Smule.
I say
Um,
Smule because mule with an S, right?
Right.
That's how I see it. I don't know. If
But,
it's...
yeah, but I have to make myself say Smule because I want really badly to say Smew.
Smew?
Smew.
Smew?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just find it off-putting when people say smole.
Yeah, I don't like that either. But what I mean is like living a lot of years in Southeast Kentucky, I picked up so much of that accent, and I try I have to work really hard to kind of push it back and not use it.
Why?
I mean, you know what I mean? Why?
Who cares? Let it flow.
Well, because I mean,
You're like one of those chicks with a hot ass, and you're like, I try so hard not to have people stare at my butt. It's so annoying. I just don't want that. I want them to see me for me, not my gorgeous body. We love accents. Let it fly.
Yeah, that's
Let
me.
it fly.
That's me. I'm trying really hard to get people not to look at my ass.
Well, I'm just saying, it's a comparison. It's a what do they call those when you compare?
Me, I'm walking around with like arrows pointing at me.
Just saying.
Look at me, look at me, look at
You have a
me.
great voice with a great accent. Let it fly. Who cares? Let the chips fall where they may.
All right, so I call it Smew.
Smew.
Yeah.
I was over at Smew the other day. Them motherfuckers over there.
I was singing.
Crazy. Just crazy.
I was singing on Smew, and they said that.
What is going on with Smew lately, dude? It's like weird right now.
I haven't been on Smew for
a
hot minute, actually.
I think that might be the problem. Because you know how they are.
Always updating.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been like 15. There's been 15 updates. I mean, I'll go in and kind of check notifications and stuff. But I mean, as far as like singing, I haven't done much of that in weeks.
I did some yesterday. It was terrible, but I got some done. I sang with you a couple days before that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, one of your songs. I think it was an Eagles song, but I can't remember now.
Oh, probably Take It Easy. I think that's the only thing I had open.
Well, then that was probably it then. I was remembering an Eagles song, so that must have been it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Got a frog in my throat. Yeah.
Get that sucker out of there.
I'm trying, but it ain't working. I'm going to mute me just 1 second here and clear that air. There we go. That's much better. Yeah. You didn't want to, no one wanted to hear that. But yeah, I go back on Smule, and the problem is you're right. We don't do it very often anymore because the radio thing keeps us super duper busy. There's always shit going on. You just don't have time. Like Smule was the thing for a while, for years, and a lot longer for you because you did a lot longer than I did.
Yes, I've been here since almost 11 years.
Well, I mean, the thing came out in like 2009.
Yeah, I've been on Smule,
which is shocking to me.
I've been on Smule since 2013, June of 2013.
2009. That's shocking to me that it's been around that long.
Yeah. It wasn't all it is today when it first started. I'll tell you that.
No, it's probably like Star Maker.
In 2013 when I joined, it was very primitive. We had like all of these songs that we had that are now uploaded by users. Right. Mm-hmm. that didn't exist.
It was just whatever they put on.
Whatever they put on.
Holy crap, man! That had to be terrible then.
It was quite limited.
Yeah, I won't say terrible, but you're right, limited. That's probably a better word.
There were a lot of repeats. You'd sing the same song over and over and over because you didn't have
there was
a wide variety, especially like me who sings country primarily. The country selection was minimal.
So I found a new app that I've been using. but
What's that?
it's called Simply Sing. And there's the one limitation and one issue that it has is huge. You can't record. You can't record yourself. But what it does have is a slide bar on the you can
to change your pitch?
Yeah, on the original song. You can change the
Oh.
song's pitch, and you can do it real subtly till it matches your voice exactly. So everybody who sings every song will sound like they're on key, unless they're tone deaf and they don't hear it anyway, so they don't know and they don't give a shit. But they're on to something with this slide bar. But if they're trying to work it out right now, because I talked to them, because I'm like, listen, you guys have a really good app here, but if I can't record and hear myself, I don't know how well I'm doing. I'm going by what your meter on there says, and I'm like, that's just unsatisfying to me.
Yeah.
You know, I slid your little bar until it matched me, and I understand that it works, but.
And not only that. I mean, let's just be real honest here. We don't sing. We sing because we love to sing, but we also want people. We want people to hear us.
Right. We want to share it, and they're working on that because they've said they've had a number of people come to them and say, like, listen, this would be great if you could do this.
So their quality and everything is good.
Well, the music's the original music. They got the license for the original stuff. So it's the actual song you're singing with, and they take the voice out for you. You can have it in or out. You can sing with them or just sing by yourself.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, but what I mean though is like your voice, you know, what you hear.
You don't hear yourself. That's the problem.
Oh, you don't hear yourself at all.
At all. All you hear is the music in your headphones, and you sing and you see where your voice is on the meter when it hits the little lines on the pitch.
And this is an app. It's an app. Is it a free app?
No.
Oh, hell, I ain't paying for it.
Right. That's the problem is it's not free. And if you're going to pay for something, you would want
something out of it.
Yeah. You want to get something out of it. And right now they're just, you know, I'm on their minimum plans, like $4.99 a month or something like that. So I'll keep it for a while, but if in the next few months they don't fix that and start adding shit, and I'm just going to not give them my money anymore. Just not going to do it because they have something. So Smule, if you're listening, steal that fucking slide bar because that's a game changer.
Have you contacted
Could you imagine having songs like the Pat Benatar stuff that I absolutely love, but I can't sing because it's too high, and be able to slide that? Oh yeah, I fucking love Pat Benatar.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's hot. She's a good singer too. Her husband's a good guitar player. They're a great combo.
Who's her husband?
Nick Girardo.
Oh.
He's only famous for being her guitar player and her husband.
So I don't know who
they met when they were really young and got married right away and stayed together. All her songs are him. All that guitar,
awesome.
all that stuff like on, you know, her songs. Hit Me With Your Best Shot, all that stuff. That's all him. So that's kind of cool.
So he is like exclusively her guitar player.
Yep.
That's fucking cool as hell.
Yep. They write the songs together. They wrote all those. They did all he wrote the riffs and that, and she wrote the songs, you know. But yeah. And they've been together forever. Still together.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It does.
Folks.
Sometimes you just, and you know, and they were young and dumb and got married right away. But it's just sometimes it works out. Yeah, two focused people who are focused on the exact same thing. That's really is what it takes. You have to have the same dream. Even if your dream is like, I just want to lay around the house and fucking play TikTok all day. If you both have that same dream.
Not for long.
I'm just saying. You're right, not for long. Instagram's going to take over the world now. Because it's the same shit. Their reels are TikTok, but whatever.
Well, I guess they're, you know, I don't know. I hear that Instagram and Facebook, all of the social media stuff is being targeted. We may not have the social media that we have today.
They need to mind their own fucking business. If they're afraid that somebody is spying through those apps, then stop the spying. Don't stop the app.
Right. there's a little bit more to it than that, but
Well, I don't know. I'm just paraphrasing
so
because I really
yeah.
I don't know. But I don't like
Well,
I don't like
I
government
personally
interference
don't
in
keep up
anything.
with it either, but 50 Trent had brought something to my attention. I
Mhm.
guess Zuckerberg had been in some kind of I don't know, some kind of Senate meeting or something. Ted Cruz was beating him down.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
And he should have because it was for election interference.
Well, this was not. No, it was over there were it was a video that could contain child sexual abuse.
Mm.
And it said it actually gave the option to see anyway. You know how you'd get the warning
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
that something, and it said
But
it had the option to see, choose to see anyway. And he says, "In what world do you find this okay, Mr. Zuckerberg?" I mean, and
well, it's
it
not like
was pretty rough.
listen, he's a douchebag, all right? Zuckerberg is. He's a fucking
Yeah.
turd. However, he does not go through all your reels and be like, oh, this one's acceptable, this one's not. He's got morons that
Not
work for him.
personally, right.
No, he's got morons. But
Right.
you're right. He is still responsible for that stuff.
Yeah.
And I never knew that part.
Yeah.
I knew he was beating him up over
Well, I didn't either. But
censorship.
Trent brought it.
But
Trent brought it
that
to my
listen, that
attention.
should piss you off. Because if you can't
Yeah.
say, hey, I like this candidate or I don't like this candidate, and you get booted off their platform and they're okay with fucking child sex abuse on there, then yeah, maybe they do need to burn that fucker to the ground.
Yeah.
Because that's
It was-
wackadoodled. That's wackadoodled on another level.
I would never. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't want to say that I'm so innocent or anything like that, but I never venture down those paths so that those things would even pop up in my timeline.
Right. Well, you can't
You
help
know-
it. They feed that shit through your timelines anyway. If you're a part of this whatever, what is it called? Is it Instagram?
Like-
the Instagram reels? They throw little kids dancing in their fucking bikinis and their swimsuits, swim shorts on there all the time for no reason. You can just be flipping through watching monster truck videos and 3 videos later it pops up. It's fucking disgusting. And there's no reason for it to be on there other than to entice those kind of people.
Right. But at the same time, they push it too far in other ways. I know when my grandbaby was, I don't know, she was maybe a year old, and she was doing a little dance in her
Mhm.
diaper.
Mhm.
And she was just wearing a diaper.
Mhm.
And my daughter videoed it because it was cute as heck. And she posted it to Facebook, and Facebook flagged it, took it down.
I think they should have.
You do.
Yeah, just not because of that. Because there are unfortunately it goes unfiltered to people who are going to abuse things like that. It's gross. I if I were a parent today, I would never put my child on social media at all. At all. I would send the people that I love pictures of my baby and, videos of her dancing or whatever like that, but I would never put it on social media. There's too many fucking creeps out there. I'm not saying that the video was inappropriate. I'm saying that there are people who are going to do inappropriate things with it.
Well, that's the same thing though as saying that a girl should be sent home because her clothing is too risque and she tempts the boys. At some point the boys have to be held accountable to say, I have to control my actions.
I don't think it's the same because you're putting it in a private feed. Somebody can view that and do private things privately in a public school. Boy, you're just you're tipping the fine line. Because I mean, at what point do you cut off like a girl's outfit is too risque? And at what point do women go to gyms with their ass and their tits hanging out and be like, "Don't look at me. I have a right to work out with anything I want to." Then everyone has a right to look too.
Well, for the most part,
when should everybody as adults be held accountable for all that?
And for the most part, I agree with you that
and I'm not advocating rape.
That way,
okay, don't. I don't want anyone to extrapolate that because that's not what I'm saying.
But I do agree with you because I in a sense, because the women who dress that way, girls who dress that way, are dressing that way to attract attention.
Of course.
That's what they're doing it for.
And in school, I think there should be God, I would hate to stifle everybody's individuality and say everybody should wear uniforms. But, I mean, you're there to learn, right? I mean, supposedly that's the idea of going to school.
Well,
So why shouldn't they wear
and
uniforms?
not just learning though. And when learning, but you're learning, it's
There's
not
social
just
skills you're building
not
too, yes.
yes. It's very important. I don't know how many people you know who were homeschooled, but those people
What
ain't
do you mean
right.
I'm married to one?
And people ain't right.
They ain't right. They're not normal. They are socially awkward. They've never been beat up on a playground. You know, they never had a crush on their teacher. They never,
Well, if they did, there's a problem.
well, they're really wild.
That goes a little deeper.
There's some major issues there. I do tease her about that. It's like, did you ever have a crush on your teacher? She's like, shut up. Gross. Because she did
not
both.
beating
She
up
did
on you,
regular
Barkley.
school because there's certain classes you have to take regular school. But 90% of her education was homeschooled.
Well, I don't know a lot about homeschooling. I know for a while my stepkids, they did some kind of homeschooling program.
Mm-hmm.
And simply because they wanted to quit school.
Yeah, that learn from home is not the same as homeschooling.
No.
You still have to
it's
participate in a classroom styled environment over the internet, I think. I think that's how most of them do it. So you're still there with other people online like we're doing. It would be like you and 10 other people in here with this Zoom meeting that we're using to learn something. I would never have functioned in that environment, nor the homeschool environment. I would have totally taken advantage of it and blew it all off.
As would I.
Yeah, there's no way I'd have made it.
I had.
But she's a fastidious person who loves to read. She reads like, you know how much she works.
I do.
Like she's at work 60 plus hours a week, every week. And she still reads like 120 plus books a year. Books, not fucking like my books, where like 8 books are in one.
Next
Short
up for
stories.
the big red dog stuff.
Yeah, right. I've read exactly one novel-sized book in my life. That was God, Guns, and Rock and Roll by Ted Nugent. That was the only one I've ever made. And it took me months to get through it because I only read it while I was in the bathroom. So
I used to read a whole lot more than I do now. Now I don't read at all unless I'm reading Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Right. Right.
But I love to read, and I just can't seem to find the quiet and the peace that it takes to actually sit down and read a book.
Yeah, my mom was a reader, but she read those trashy Harlequin things, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was
my mom.
That was
my mom
novel.
read those when I was young, and then as I got older, she kind of got into more of the John Grisham.
Well, I mean, the
crime.
tide changed.
Yeah.
In the 80s and early 90s, those Harlequin romance novels were huge. It was the, it's a social trend, all that stuff. And then the John Grisham novels became all the rage, you know. And my first wife was the same.
Patricia Cornwell and
right. It all became, everybody's palate became a little bit more refined through the 90s up into the 2000s.
My mom was a reader, and she always urged me read, and I, at the time when I was younger, I was like, I'm not going to do anything my mom did.
Right.
That's
God, that generational shit is so true.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything my mom did. And then as I got older and I had kids, and I'm like, when I had that peaceful time when they went to bed or whatever, I'd be like, I really just want to sit here and read a book, and I enjoyed it. But now I don't know. It seems like life gets busy, but I do less. Does that make any sense?
Kinda. I mean, I feel it and I do it. I live it. So to me, it makes sense.
Yeah, I do less.
Do you
than
get
I
the
used
guilt
to
from
do.
it too, though?
Oh,
I feel guilty as shit every time I'm idle. I'm like, my brain just goes off the rails, and I got to do something. But sometimes I don't. But that's where that TikTok and Instagram reels come. And for me, Facebook Marketplace, it's like being able to go to a flea market on your phone. And I fucking love yard sales and flea
Oh
markets.
gosh, I do too. We don't need to.
But Facebook Marketplace is a drug, man. I mean, I'm fucking into it. I'm like kicking tires and stuff on things I know I can't buy. That fucking
I love it.
Subaru is still for sale on there, by the way. They better be glad that I spent all that money on fucking Geronimo, because that thing might be sitting in my driveway.
The yellow one?
Yeah, it's still on there.
Oh,
I saw it the other day. They reduced the price a little bit.
I wonder if I could mortgage my house.
Oh man, it's almost down to 10 grand.
Really?
Yeah. I'm thinking, I got other shit I got to take care of. Radio bills are coming up. We already got the this one, and the website thing already came due. But
Yeah.
there's more. Radio will be coming up soon, so I got to get my fat ass back on the mower. Start
Chop,
doing
chop,
circles.
Bonley.
Start doing circles. Yeah. Chantal Coster brought that up the other day. She goes, "What was that mowing song we did?" I took Eddie Rabbitt's "Driving My Life Away" and redid it, "Mowing My Life Away."
Ooh, I'm mowing my life away.
Exactly. Only I did it off pitch because I'm cool. Slightly off key, because that's how I do things.
Well, it was the mower in your ear.
Huh?
It was the mower in your ear.
Yeah.
It was throwing you off.
Yeah. I had my bright orange mowing hat on that I don't have anymore.
Why don't you have it anymore?
Because it got wet and it shrunk, and I never could get
Oh.
it back on my fucking fat head. It's got this foam rubber band kind of headband inside of it. It's like a 3/4 of an inch diameter, like sturdy foam. But when it gets wet and the sun hits it, it shrinks. So it was giving me a headache because I sweat like a pig, man. And that thing was meant to keep the sweat off your eyes, and it did work. No sweat came down. It stayed up in there on the band. But it would shrink in the sun. And the one tractor that looks like the one that you like, but it doesn't have a cab on it, doesn't have a roof on it. None of them have cabs. I just have roofs. But the one doesn't have a roof on it. So when I'm out in that thing, the sun bakes my ass. I'm armed this year. I got some new shirts. Like this one I'm wearing now.
Yeah.
Only it has a hood on it.
Okay.
So, yeah,
I
several
can't.
of those.
I can't.
They're just
tell a whole lot.
they're fishing shirts.
Are they thin? Okay.
Yeah,
so
super,
they're the little thin
yeah,
ones.
super.
Yeah.
Yeah, super light. They're breathable. I used to wear them when I was still running Ready Mix, driving my truck. And
Yeah.
I'd show up in 100-degree weather with concrete, and I'd have one of these long sleeve shirts. The guy he's like, "Man, I just want to punch you in the fucking face wearing that thing out here." I'm like, "Dude, you have no idea." I'm like, "This thing keeps you cool."
Right.
Now,
Well, and it's
if it's
kinda
100 degrees and you're in a building, there's no benefit, because all it does is keep the sun off of you and keeps you cooler that way. But if you're not in the sun and it's still hot, you just take your shirt off.
Right. Well, and I never could understand. Of course, I mean, not that I've ever been in the desert, but I see when I watch movies and these people are walking through the
Yep.
desert and they're just covering themselves with all these
Completely.
clothes. I'm like,
Yep.
oh my God, what's wrong with them? I mean, it's hot. Why wouldn't you want to take them off? And then, someone actually had to tell me that no, it blocks it'll block the sun from them.
Yeah,
and then
linen.
it actually cools them. And I'm like,
Yep. It has to be a breathable
"Ah."
material. That's why they use linen in the desert,
Yeah.
because they didn't have this. This stuff
Right.
was more breathable than linen, and I found it. And
Is that it's probably synthetic, right?
yeah, it's 100% synthetic.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the material is. Some kind of, it feels like the old rayon.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feels like that. It's really nice on your skin. Real light and not fluffy, but
Feels,
real
feels
light and
nice,
just gentle.
nice on the skin.
It is. But I was in Florida, and it's fucking, it's too hot for me. It's too hot.
Shut up.
It was like 105 degrees, and it was fucking hot. I mean, it was Melissa. We went down there in July, which was a mistake to begin with. But it was when we had a break. There was a break at work. We took advantage of it. It was our quote unquote anniversary thing. So we went down there and we hung out at the vacation house for a week, and it was hot.
Roasted.
Oh yeah, I went out in my bare feet to get a pizza, and that was a mistake. I didn't
Okay.
realize I was doing
all
the
right.
happy dance.
But let's back up and you tell me what in the world anybody could possibly find bad or wrong or negative about. I went out in my bare feet to get a pizza.
It burnt me. It burnt the bottom of my feet.
No, I mean that's the epitome of life. I mean that's what to go out to get a fucking pizza in your fucking bare feet.
Yeah. Don't you do that at
Life.
home when they deliver to your door?
No, I'm
No?
gonna step on a hypodermic needle.
Oh, I didn't. In your own yard?
Not no.
I never left the
But
house.
I
It was
mean,
a delivery.
I'm afraid there's not a Pizza Hut in my front yard.
Well, they deliver. This guy
Not here.
delivered, and I went out to get it in my bare
They
feet.
did- I thought you like walked down the
No,
street.
no. I
like,
just
to
walked
the-
out to the driveway.
to the Marcos.
No, they're not close enough. That house isn't close. It's close to the beach, but it's not close to anything like store wise. You have to drive. It's like a half a mile. You can ride a bike, and they keep these little Honda scooters down there, like 50cc scooters that you can ride on the island, and it like pisses everybody off
Oh, like
because you
the
can't go fast.
oh.
I mean, you're a
I
big
mean, don't you
bulbous-
ride them on the? But you don't ride them on the sidewalk.
No, it's not legal. They have bike paths, but the motorized bikes aren't allowed on there.
You follow the laws when you're on vacation.
Yes. Yes. Of course I do.
I'm on vacation. That means that I am vacating law-abiding
No,
citizen.
I don't do that
rules.
stuff. I'm a rule follower. I can't help it. I get mad at people who don't follow. They're like, stop, you're breaking the rules. Kind of a Karen that way. You're jaywalking. I do jaywalk. How about that? Is that dirty? Is that mean enough for you or whatever?
You are such a
Naughty.
criminal.
That's the word. Is that naughty enough for you? I jaywalk.
I'm getting a little turned on.
It's them bad boys. That motherfucker jaywalks. He does it in Crocs.
Oh, Crocs. How do you feel about Crocs?
I have one pair and I hate them. I gave in. I was like, I don't like the way those things look at all. And she was like, you have to try them. They're so comfortable. I'm like, really? I'm like, they don't look comfortable to me. She's like, just try them. And she doesn't like anything with the American flag decals or emblems on. So everything I buy has that on it just because I'm a dick. So I'm like, okay, if you want me to buy these Crocs, I want these American flag ones. So
She relented.
yeah, of course. She wanted me to try the Crocs, and I hate them. They're not comfortable at all. I tried them in 4-wheel drive mode. I tried them they don't feel good on my feet at all.
Really, I love them. Now, I do think women tend to like them better than men, and I don't know if it's. And I don't know. I don't know if I should say that now or not. In the beginning, women liked them better than men. Now they are. Women are like, oh, those are hideous, and I'm not wearing those. Men are like, these things are. A lot of men, the camo Crocs and things. Well, I see a lot of men wearing like camo Crocs.
Yeah, she has all these like adornments for them. Like she
Oh,
has
the
a
little-
Margaritaville pair that's
Yeah.
got like shot glasses and limes and like a little guitar on it and stuff.
I
don't
love
get
them.
it. The pit bull things, I get. I bought her a pair, and then I got like the pit bull little doggy.
I don't know what that is.
They're little dog heads that you can put on your Crocs.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like it was a different type of shoe.
No, they're still Crocs, but they're the adornment. Whatever. They have a name for them. I don't know what it is. I have chat closed. I don't even know if anyone's even paying attention to it.
I don't either.
I forgot. But they have a special name for whatever that stuff is. Those little trinkets that you put on your Crocs. And I don't know what they're called, but
I forget what they're called too, but I know what you're talking about because
Yeah.
Peyton has them. She has Bluey and all that.
I don't know what Bluey is. I'm assuming it's like Clifford.
Yeah, I mean he's a little cartoon character.
Mhm.
Remember we discussed Bluey.
We
You
kind of
said
did.
he's
I still don't
he's
remember what it was.
Yeah, you said he's a dog. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess he's a dog. He's Australian though, so he might be a dingo.
Dingo. Stevie, if you're listening, mate, is Bluey a dingo? Because Bluey is definitely an Australian word.
Oh well, Bluey's a dog.
They do
I mean,
everything
he's
E.
Australian.
Like my dogs are
Bluey.
Amstaffs, American Staffordshire Terriers.
Yeah.
In Australia, they're called Staffies. And they call things E's. That's just what they do. So Blue E's. He's a Bluey. He's a Bluey right there. That's a Bluey. So that's definitely Australian.
Yeah.
He's a Bluey.
It sounds like a pirate.
Oi. I'm not going to bring South Park up again. They used to make fun of Steve Irwin. And it was fucking hilarious.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah. They made fun of him after he died, too. But they did everybody. It wasn't just him. They had a party in hell. Satan threw a Halloween party, and Steve Irwin showed up. They threw him out because it was tasteless to show up as Steve Irwin. He's like, no, I really am Steve Irwin. They threw him out anyway. They're like, oh, too soon, bro. Yeah, because it was right after.
I remember when Steve Irwin passed. That was very sad. You know,
It was sad. It was shocking, even.
Yes, celebrity deaths usually don't affect me that greatly. I mean, they're just people like everybody else, and I mean, and for the most part, most of them have lived their lives, and they're older folks anyway. You know, and I don't. It's just it doesn't affect me.
There's only a handful that actually like made me sad and hurt me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Can you remember one that hurt you like pretty?
Prince, yeah,
intensely?
when he died.
Oh, that was mine too.
That was pretty sad.
That's
and
mine
shockingly,
too.
I wasn't even a huge Dale Earnhardt fan, but I was so sad when he died. Like it was like
it was the way
shocking.
He died.
It was like that car wreck wasn't that bad. Of course,
Yeah.
he found out later he had been cutting his safety straps for comfort.
Yeah.
So they weren't even really there. So it was, just dumb shit.
It was the way he died. I mean, we all. I mean, I personally wasn't watching, but millions of people were.
Yeah.
Watched him.
Yeah, that one.
It was terrible.
Meatloaf was pretty sad for me. I really liked that guy. But Prince was probably the most hurtful one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was shocked. I was completely shocked. I had no idea.
Yeah, Prince hurt me too. And I remember that very day. I hadn't actually lived in this house too terribly long when Prince passed away. And I was smoking at the time. And I went after I heard that Prince had died, and I went out on the front porch to smoke a cigarette, just because I was heartbroken. And there was this double rainbow in the sky. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I was a mess. I was a mess over Prince.
Yeah, but usually, you're right. Usually that stuff doesn't affect me at all. Like, because you're right. Most of those people live to be ripe old ages, and they, when they pass away, it's like, oh my God, what a great career they had, and let's celebrate their lives. It's usually not tragic.
Right. So
it's the tragic ones that are gone too soon that, usually.
And
Meatloaf should have been more of like, because he was older. He wasn't old. It's like he wasn't much older than me, but he was older.
I'm not sure.
I think he's about 10 years older
he was, or when he even passed. I don't remember when he passed.
It's just a few years ago.
Now, more recently, I was a little hurt over Toby.
Yeah, he was gone too soon.
Yeah, I was.
But that one we had a little bit of time to prepare for.
Yeah,
because we knew he was sick and he was fighting cancer the whole time, which is awful, just awful. That disease just has to go. What it does to people's bodies, I remember my friend Chad, the guy I worked with, same as Toby, stomach cancer, and he was a big dude. He was like 350, just a big guy, tall, big, stout,
like Toby.
Yep. And the last time I saw him, he was like 120 pounds and he looked like a skeleton, and it just, I barely recognized him.
It's hard.
Fucking
it's
terrible.
Heart-wrenching.
It's terrible. Like put a fucking bullet in me before I get that far. But he was still fighting just like Toby did. He fought all the way to the end, but some of those cancers you can't beat.
Yeah. I don't think if I were to be given a cancer diagnosis, I'm not sure how much fight I would have in me.
I don't know either. I would like to think I would, but
See, I just don't know. I don't know if I want to, because I don't know if my days are numbered. I want to live my days the way I want to live them, not sick. I don't
Right.
want to be so sick trying to fight something that I'm not going to win.
I remember when my mom was dying, and she had a chance about 5 or 6 years before she passed to subvert it and give herself another 5 or 6 years on top of what she did live. But she would have had a feeding tube, so she would never have tasted food again. And she was like, "Fuck that, I'm not doing it." She goes, "I'm not doing it." She goes, "I love coffee. I'm gonna have coffee every day. If it kills me, then it kills me," and it did. Because her lungs, her throat was fucked up from cancer, so everything she ate, she breathed in, and it ate her lung lining out. Yeah. She aspirated everything, but she went down her way.
I don't blame her.
I was mad at first.
I would probably make.
I was mad at first because I'm like, you got other people in your life to think about, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? She was right. She was right.
Yeah.
Why would you want to? Why would you want to live a life that isn't yours?
But at the same time, I have a sister who has a feeding tube, and she hasn't tasted a bite of food since January of 2019.
Right. It all depends on who you are and how you want to be.
Yeah.
She clearly just wants to be. So, go Andrea.
It's my sissy.
If that's the fight she chooses to fight, and she's a lot younger than my mom was, so.
Yeah. Well, she had young kids.
That too.
Yep.
Yeah. Mom's kids obviously were all grown. I was in my 40s, so.
Yep. Her youngest child at the time was 6.
We were all in our 40s. So. Yeah, that's a baby.
Yeah.
It's a baby.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's just what we choose for our own lives, and I don't blame anyone for making that choice.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it because I don't want you going. I want you to fight, but I would understand.
I don't have cancer.
I know. I'm just saying. I would understand if that day came, but I don't. Yeah. Fuck that.
Or I don't guess I do. I haven't been diagnosed. Let's just say that. Sometimes I feel like I'm on that.
You have emotional cancer. That's what you have.
AKA kids.
It eats at your soul. Soul cancer. God, what a terrible cancer.
Yeah. Speaking of kids, my I have temporary house guests. I have temporary house guests.
Plural.
My daughter and my granddaughter stayed with me last night, and I know other folks out in Radio Land, they can't see me, but you can see me, and you can see that I'm not at my usual studio spot. And I am actually broadcasting from the living room. So welcome to the living room, folks.
She completely moved venues. What? How'd you do that?
So we had a rough night last night. My granddaughter couldn't decide where she wanted to sleep. Did she want to sleep with mommy? Did she want to sleep with Mimi? She couldn't decide where she wanted to sleep. So she crawled in bed with mom, and then it was, I'm hungry. So she got up and she ate a few chicken nuggets, and then I was like, okay, it's time for bed. She says, but Mimi, I just want to go to bed with you. I said, well, okay, let's just go. We'll go lay down. Of course, at the same time, she's keeping everybody awake. Everybody just wants to go to bed.
But I mean, come on. She got yanked out of her environment.
So we do finally lay down. She lays down with me, and I fall asleep. And then she says, Mimi, I really just want to sleep with my mommy.
Of course.
So
what she wants to be is told no.
So at about 2 o'clock, she gets up and she goes to sleep with her mom. And I haven't seen or heard anything from her since. So I figure it's about time for her.
She finally got tired.
Yeah.
She finally got tired. It's amazing where you can sleep when you're really tired.
When push came to shove, it was like, okay, I really just want to be with my mom.
Then there's people like Barkley. She can sleep in any position, in any environment. And I'm not even exaggerating. She can sleep on an airplane. I can't I don't care how tired I am. I've been on an airplane completely exhausted, and I did the power nod a few times, but never fell asleep.
I can't sleep on it. Of course, now I've only flown a couple times, and they've not been long flights. But I've been tired. I've been very tired, and I just can't get into that relaxation mode.
When she and I were first living together, we were coming home from somewhere, and she wanted a milkshake from McDonald's, so I stopped and got her a milkshake. And she was kind of tired. She's like, yeah, let's just go and watch TV. I'm like, okay. So we're driving home and got the music on, so we're not talking. I'm just listening to tunes. And we're going, our road is kind of, it's a back, the road we used to live on, it's a back road. So it's kind of, bumpy and turny. And I hear this, I'm like, what the fuck? So I look over at her, and she had fallen asleep with the straw in her mouth. And she was playing the straw violin, and her head was bobbing up and down from hitting the bumps. And it was rubbing against the cup lid, going, she's fucking sound asleep. I was like, Jesus, how the hell can you sleep with a straw in your mouth? She can sleep anywhere in any environment. It's insane. And she's like, I thought she was playing along to the fucking song. I was like, what the fuck's going on? The straw violin. We've all played
awesome. it. Oh, yes.
My
parents.
Oh, yeah, anything to annoy your parents.
My parents loved it.
We all know the sound. We've all played that game. We've all gotten smacked for it. At least I hope we have. I know I did.
You know what they loved the most about the straw, though, is when all of the drink was gone and
the slurping noise.
You just keep.
What are you trying to get out of there? All of it. Leave me alone. I want all my soda. McDonald's had the best Coke. Their whatever syrup carbonated water mixture they used back in the 80s was the best.
Well, it's still better. It's still better than Coke from a bottle.
Is it? I haven't had real pop in decades, so I have no idea.
That's right. The diabetes got you.
And the first thing my doctor's like, liquid calories are the worst. Stay away from them. So I did.
Yeah. Yeah. I've gained some weight recently, and I think that's probably where it's coming from.
Yeah, pop's the worst. But yeah, there was something about their mixture that was just better. You're right. It was better than Coke out of the bottle.
Yes. Well, I've actually read an article about this because we're not the only ones that say this. Everybody says that, McDonald's Coke is better.
They probably serve Pepsi.
Now, what I've read, though, is that their syrup containers are refrigerated. And they're not other places. Only McDonald's has their syrup containers refrigerated.
Somehow that must make a difference.
That's what I've heard. That's what I read.
It is better, or at least it was.
It's better.
I can't say now.
It still is. It still is. I had a McDonald's Coke just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It's still better. I slurped that puppy down.
Your parents would be proud.
They would. Listen at her shuck.
How you listen? Since we're on etiquette and sucking and slurping.
Yeah.
How do you not slurp soup? My mom used to get so pissed at me. I'm like, well, how do you not do it? How do you get it out of the fucking? You just tilt your head back and let it fall in? I never understood that. I think she was just annoyed.
From the spoon?
Yeah.
You open your mouth, you put the spoon in your mouth, and then you pull the spoon out.
No. How do you don't? That's too hot for that. You can't do that.
Oh my God.
You're eating cold soup.
You're such a weenie.
But I always used to get pissed. I'm like, how am I not supposed to slurp?
You also.
I don't understand.
You're a weenie is what it is. Because you don't drink coffee either.
No, I don't.
So, I mean, I imagine you would probably slurp your coffee.
Well, I do slurp my tea. I drink hot tea occasionally. And if it's too hot, I blow on it and slurp it. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. When you and I are in...
Just like that. When we're in
you
public?
you are not no when we're in immediate presence of each other, you are not to have hot liquids. I'll smack your face off.
No, well, I'll hit you back because I believe in equality. We'll pop you. Take that. I'm old enough to be your dad. I'll turn you over my knee.
You're old enough to be my dad.
I was pretty virile at 6 years old.
5. Well,
5.
6 now, but
yeah.
I mean 5. Okay, 5.5. Not even that.
I was a man of the world. I had a full-time job. I was a bouncer at a strip club when I was 6. You never even heard my song, did you?
What song?
I wrote that song for Haley's rap thing.
Well, the one that you did to the Beasties Boy thing?
Nope. I did it to a Nashville
Boys.
Pussy song.
I did because I did hear it because I was actually the one who did the upload for you.
But I'd mentioned something about being out on my own when I was 6. That's all.
I don't remember the lyrics or anything, but I did hear it.
I'm just being stupid right now. I'm intentionally being stupid.
We
not like my accidental stupidity that usually comes.
We tend to veer to the stupidity towards the end of the show.
It's just like, anything else. When it gets tired, it gets punchy. When it gets punchy, it gets a little dumb. No, I mean, I don't know that we ever veer away from it.
You don't.
Well,
I am a woman of I am a woman of wisdom, and I'm refined.
I'm refined. I'm like sugar, baby. Super refined in a bag and all. I wonder what they do to refine sugar. I've never been to a sugar plant.
Well, neither have I.
They do something to it.
They refine it.
It's been refined. Sugar, let me teach you how to walk. Sugar, let me teach you how to talk. Sugar. There's a song in there, Refined Sugar.
Do you know that song right then? That Sugar Boom Boom song?
By who?
I don't remember who it's by. It's called. I don't even know what it's called. Is it called Sugar Boom Boom?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You haven't heard it?
Nope.
Okay.
If I did, I'm not aware of it.
It's about heroin. It's not. But it's extremely, extremely catchy though. So if you hear it, it will be stuck in your head. Sugar Boom Boom.
So that's kind of like it. Who's that guy I really like?
That guy you really like?
Gordon Sumner.
Who's that?
Yeah, I believe his stage name is Sting.
Oh. Well, I'm such a Sting fan. I obviously, I knew exactly who you were talking about. I was pretending not
Listen,
to know.
here's my real beef. You want to know the story behind it or not? Does it really bore you that I talk about that too much?
You're going to tell it. You're dying to tell it. Just tell it. Just get it off
your
chest.
I don't like that he left the police and went out on his own, left his brother and all his bandmates to hold the bag. And he went out on his own because he's a fucking egomaniac.
So it's personal.
Yes, he's a jerk.
It has nothing to do with his
He's
voice.
a jerk. I don't like his voice either, his new voice. When he was in the police, they sang cool songs. And it sounded cool. And then he went out on his own and he sang dumb songs and he sounds dumb.
Well, I mean,
I'll fight him.
We have discussed that I have a problem with people who are dicks. Like
who are what? Spell the word. I can't hear.
Dicks.
Dicks. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Dickheads.
Yes. So, and I have been a huge 49 Winchester fan.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned kind of through my own creeping on Facebook and such, through social medias and reading some of the posting of the lead singer, who is Isaac Gibson. And I read some of the things that he has written, and he's a dick. I mean, he is a dick. And I am now just not as enthralled by their music.
That happens.
And I'm sad about it because I just loved them.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
now
going to
I'm
bring
just
up
like-
any more names, but yeah, it happens to me a lot when these lead singers and lead guitar players and that post their personal opinions online. And if it's a band that I'm a huge fan of, they are rolling the dice, especially when they're saying things that are polarities, things that you're either going to love or hate. You're taking the chance that 50% of the people that are listening to that or reading that are going to fucking hate you and just go away. I think you should keep your opinions to yourself when you're in that kind of arena. I really do.
No, this wasn't really like an opinion, like a political opinion or anything like that. It was more about the post that did it for me was actually about their merchandise. And he was calling out people who were making bootleg merchandise. And we're not talking about people who are selling like big quantities of things. Actually, this actually happened to Luke Combs several months ago too. And I'll go over that story. But anyway, so Isaac said, stop. You think you're helping the band, you think you're promoting the band, but you're not. So just stop. And I mean, it was the way it was worded and everything was just very, very,
well, let me play devil's advocate for a minute here.
It was mean.
So he aimed at a bunch of fucking bored housewives with crickets who are out making their own goddamn T-shirts.
Yes.
Instead of, I'm just being a dick because I know that's you. I know you do that.
I do.
So it probably felt with a little bit of personal sting to it.
Sure it did.
Sure it did. Yeah. I was speaking, of course, of political opinions, but you're right. It's still a polarizing comment.
Yeah.
It was, instead of saying, listen, I know you guys really love the band and I do appreciate that, maybe just leave it to the professionals. We're trying to make some money off our merch and we love you guys, but just, don't undercut us, please. He could have said it that way.
It wasn't even that they were selling. And he actually he attacked their design.
Oh. Yeah, well, okay. So he's even bigger dick than normal. Okay.
Yeah. It was pretty ugly. So anyway, the story with Luke Combs is apparently, there are people out there who make bootleg merchandise and use artist images and things of that nature.
Yeah, I bought it before.
And sell them on a huge market. And they make millions of dollars. And the big stars have legal teams to sue the fuck out of these people who are making millions of dollars. And there was one lady who fell through the cracks. She just had a little Etsy shop and she was selling tumblers with Luke Combs' picture on them. And she was sued. Luke Combs really didn't know anything about it. It was his legal company. And he said, this was all a mistake. And anyway, every penny she had, they sued her and it went to court. She was notified by email. It was just really kind of sketchy and under wraps quite a bit. Anyway, and when he learned about it, he contacted her personally. He gave her all of her money back plus some, and marketed his own tumbler, and she got every bit of the proceeds.
So his legal team had taken over for him.
Yes,
and we're just going a little bit rogue.
Yes. And he's like, this is not what this is intended for. He said, it's for the big companies who are just making millions of dollars off of my merchandise. And he said, that's not what it is. We're not targeting people who are just trying to make a couple extra bucks on Etsy.
And that's how that whole licensing live music thing works. It is not legal for you to be in a cover band and go to a venue and receive money, no matter how small amount it is, and sing somebody else's song. That's not legal.
Right.
However, these bars can pay into a licensing firm. It's an online internet it's an international thing that the artists belong to, like a union. And they all divvy up the proceeds from all these little bars all over the country and all over the world that want to have live music. similar to what we have here on our station. We
Right.
pay money to have that licensing
The
so we can get away
license.
with the original songs that we play.
Right.
Now, also, we have artists who send in their songs to us. That's different too. If you have direct, yes, thank you, Eric ASCAP. He's a musician, so he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Eric OC Poacher popped in with the answer.
Moaning.
But he, yeah, that's how that works. It's not legal, but they're not, like AC/DC isn't going to come after Evil Ways and like sue them for the few $100s that we made on, playing out for their songs.
Right.
They're not going to waste their time. They're not going to get anything from us, nor would they want to. But if there was another band out there who directly copied them, sold their music as them, and was like making big money, then yes, they would go after them with a cease and desist and take whatever profits. I mean, ask Eminem, or not Eminem, who's the other white rapper? Vanilla Ice, how that works. He made all that money on Ice Ice Baby, then lost it all to Queen, as he should have, because he stole their music and did not even ask.
Completely. I mean,
Yep.
when it comes on, you for a minute, you're like, which one is this?
Right. He knows it. He knows he did it, but back then they called it sampling. But you know what? It's still stealing. Don't do it.
Right. Well, they still call it sampling, but I mean, they have.
Well, now they
permission
exchange.
to do
Right.
so.
Now they exchange monies and permissions, and there's a royalty fee and blah blah blah. And if you're smart and somebody else wants to use your music and they ask you permission and you take that percentage, it's smart business. Your song is getting reinvented and thrown back out there in the stratosphere for other people to enjoy in a different format.
So I'm sure you probably know a little bit about this too. That do you remember when CCR sued John Fogerty for playing his music?
They tried to, yeah. Didn't work out for him because he fucking wrote it.
It was freaking. Can you imagine?
Yeah, people are greedy, man.
Being in the legal system for
Mick
playing
Mars
something
right
that
now is suing Motley Crue because they fired him and hired a different guitar player.
I didn't know that.
But the problem is this is another Sting story. The problem is, like that Every Breath You Take song.
Yeah.
All he wrote was the lyrics. The rest of the band wrote all the music, but have no rights to it because it's his name. He wrote the song, according to the credits, because he wrote the lyrics. That that beat and all that. He didn't write any of that.
Right.
But they tried to sue him to keep him from playing it on his solo, and he couldn't because he had songwriting credits. Same thing with John Fogerty. He may not have his brother wrote those guitar riffs, but he wrote the songs, and they consider the lyrics the songs, I think, in most cases. So.
Learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm. That's how that shit worked out. And those guys, it's crazy. I went and seen Judas Priest and Queensryche a couple summers ago down in West Virginia, and Queensryche has a new lead singer. The guy sounds exactly like Jeff Tate, exactly like him. Even kind of looks like him a little bit. Younger version, obviously. But they didn't sing any of the good songs. And it turns out that those songs they didn't sing were Jeff Tate's songs. He wrote them so they couldn't sing them. So I didn't get to hear Jet City Woman or any of the classic Queensryche songs that I wanted to hear. Sad.
It's a damn shame.
It was. But their merch was cool, so I picked up a couple T-shirts. It was all good. But they still, Judas Priest still had it, man. I mean, the only thing in the band that was left is the singer, Rob Halford. They brought the guitar player out. He has polio or something. No. What's the shaking one? Parkinson's. He has Parkinson's so bad they could barely stand. But he got through his songs. They put him out there for 2 songs. He got through them, played his solos and all that. It was pretty cool. But they had him propped up on this, like, looked like a kickstand. I don't know how else to describe it. It was sad. Then they would darken the stage and carry him off.
People... Yeah, I'm so glad that you chuckled because people couldn't see your face when you're saying it's sad.
It is sad.
And you can hear you. I mean, I can see you and know that you're stifling this giggle.
Well, they had, if anyone's been to a Judas Priest show, then Rob Alford always comes out on a motorcycle on his Harley, revs it up a couple times, and they play some Turbo Lover and stuff like that. Well, he came out on it for this show and couldn't get off of it. We watched him like 3 times, tried to lift his leg up because he's 72 years old, or he was at this point. He's older than that now, and he couldn't get off the bike. So he gave up trying. He sat there and sang the whole song on the bike. Nobody gave 2 shits, you know. Then of course, like I said, it went black again, and they craned him off
the
or something. Yeah, they got him off the bike. But it was a good show, and his voice, even at 70 years old, and if you know any Judas Priest stuff like Painkiller and that,
I don't.
my God, it is like the falsetto is fucking insane. It is insane. And he was hitting it, man. He was nailing it. I couldn't believe it.
I have big respect for anybody who has a really strong falsetto because it takes my breath. Mine is weak as shit, and it takes my breath.
Yep, it's hard.
I can't do it.
It's hard. All right, you done?
Am I done what?
With the show.
Well, I guess.
I guess so too. I got work to do.
You're the boss man.
It's busy season.
You got control of the buttons.
I know, but I don't tickle your button unless I have permission. So. I'm not that kind of creep. I'm the other kind of creep.
Weirdo.
I know. All right, WBAM. Thank you for listening to the Monday edition of what's our show called? Morning what?
Bull.
Morning Bull. Oh, Morning Bull. I thought it was Morning Bonfire. Sorry.
No, it's way cooler.
Way cooler. This is a way cooler show. I like this show better. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Mucho love, WBAM. Mwah.